Hello, beautiful charms of the secret code. And this is day two. That's right. Day two of the 10-day immersion program. So at this point, you have already, one, realized that you are worthy of money. You're worthy of good things, of living and deserving of living an extraordinary life, that it is honorable. Should you want to be more? Of course. And I hope you really took seriously the assignment yesterday in day one, where you were asked to associate the pain, make it very real for yourself. The pain associated with staying where you are right now. You've got to dig. That piece right there is so critical, folks, because if it doesn't hurt, if it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. That's just the law of life. If you hadn't just gotten sick and tired of where you are, then I can guarantee with 100% certainty that whatever relationship it is, it'll be crappy this time next year. Wherever your finances are, they'll be crappy this time next year. Wherever your business is, it will be crap this time next year. You've got to associate the pain of staying where you are and begin to envision the pleasure of where you want to be. So hopefully you did that assignment. Now, we also talked about holding on to things that we need to let go. And your huge assignment was to start. You probably started yesterday, or maybe some of you started today. But again, once you get started, you got to keep the energetic momentum going by decluttering, clearing up the energy, ridding yourself of things that are inanimate, that will return to dust. Letting those things go that many of us have so much attachment to, it allows you to make bigger decisions, grander decisions with more confidence when you really have to let the tough shit go, right? So that's laying the foundation for day two. Day two, I want you to continue discarding 27 items from your home office, your car, and maybe even include your purse. Let those things go so that you can begin to understand that you are deserving. You're deserving of manifestations that blow your mind. Yesterday we talked about the fact that you're already wealthy. Well, we're just going to hone that in a little bit deeper today, so that you will know once and for all, and meditate on these things. Just don't take the notes or take and scribble on your notebook or your beautiful journal these things and not revisit them. Folks, you plant a seed and the seed grows. The only way you can begin to reprogram and recondition your subconscious mind is when you make a conscious effort every day to change your thoughts, to revisit your notes, to think new thoughts, to create a new belief system. And maybe some of you don't at this point believe you deserve that life of miracles and manifestations. Well, to tell you the truth, the manifestations that you want, a better business, a larger business, more clients, more customers, more fulfilling relationships with your families and your loved ones, and maybe the man of your dreams, maybe your husband to get some act right. All of those things are seeking you too. Rumi says that what you are seeking is seeking you too. It's the truth. It is just waiting for you to recognize it, to become aware of it, and to love yourself enough to feel that you're worthy of those things. So nobody is out here keeping things from you. So often we complain about the people in our lives. Well, they are just a mirror reflection of the way you're treating yourself. It's like you treat yourself this way, and then everybody else in your life gets the script and starts reading off the script. They read off the script based on how you treat yourself, right? So we talk about this concept of self-love. And the bottom line is that the manifestations that you want, living a life of miracles and manifestations that blow your mind, is a function of you willing your willingness rather, to let them in. You know, one thing that I love to tell women to do or ask them to consider, to take into consideration, is the spirit of receiving. Now, a lady tells you you got a great dress on, or I love how your hair looks, and we immediately deflect. We immediately start making allowances for whatever the compliment was. Oh, well, I got this thing at Goodwill. It was only $2. Who gives a shit? Receive the compliment. That is, even though it's a small example, is a huge, it's a huge reminder to us that if we cannot accept the small things, like a compliment, I can tell already if a lady cannot take a compliment, she is not receiving from the universe. She is pew, pew. You know how Wonder Woman has the reflective gloves? Pew, pew. This is how she is blocking the blessings. I know it sounds silly and small, but when you, the good book says it, and I'm not a Bible scholar, but I know a good book when I read one. When you can appreciate the small, the good book says, he'll give you charge over larger things, more things. Your willingness to let even compliments is based on your feelings of your own inherent worthiness. Think about it. If someone pays you a compliment or says, damn it, you're doing a smash up job, and you deflect and compliment them back and go back and forth and that shit, you think about it. It is your way of saying, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin what you're saying to me. I can't take it. I don't want to accept that kind of love because I don't deserve it. When you believe you deserve something, honey, you take it just like a baby. You got to come like a babe, a suckling, a youth. When you give children something, they taking it. And they take it and sometimes won't even say thank you. It's because they have no concept of not receiving. Not in the least. So where you've heard it, wherever, you know, in this world of personal growth, that no one can love you more than you love yourself, it's the, as we say in the South, it's the natural bone truth. Okay? And people can only give you what you're willing to give yourself. It's the same with the universe. The universe will only give you what you feel you're worthy of. The reason you don't have in your possession right now what you desire is because you are repelling it. All right? You're saying, I don't want that. And until you develop the self-love, I did a post on it today. Until you develop this deep self-love for yourself, fall in love with yourself. When you get in bed at night, stroke your own head. Say, baby, and y'all, I do this. I promise you, I don't tell you shit to do that I don't do. I lay on my purple satin pillowcase, and I stroke my own head. When I go over the things that I'm really grateful for that day, you know, I've got my magic rock, and I choose that one thing, I'll just go on to other things. And y'all, I do. I lay back on my pillow, and I will rub the what they call this area right here, I don't know, this part of my head. And I'll just say, baby girl, you did great today. And when those thoughts that come to me that want to counter that, I'll tell myself, shh, shh. Y'all, sometimes you have to just encourage yourself, as King David did. Say out loud to yourself. Cast down those thoughts. Stop saying such ugly fucking shit to yourself. Right? That's why people treat you like they do. You treat your own self like that. This is it, ladies. It stops right here. Stroke your own freaking ego. Toot your own horn. Honk your own horn. Ring your own bell. It is not bragging if it's true. And the truth is, beautiful, is that you're worthy. That you're awesome as fuck. That you're dynamic. That you are becoming wealthy. That you are the shit. That is the truth. So if in you is this little inkling of, well, I'm not there yet, or I shouldn't say these things about myself, or I shouldn't post this about myself, know that in that moment, that is not the voice of the goddess. It's not the voice of God, pure positive energy, source. That is not the voice of the universe, because the universe reflects and deflects all love to you. Your shit doesn't stink to God. You poop glitter to God. In whatever state, he or she rather never looks back on your past and say, you know what, you would be the shit, but let me run this back to you. That never happens. So stop with the degradation, the self-sabotaging, the critical talk, self-talk, because what it does, little by little, beautiful women, is erode your sense of worthiness. And once you don't feel worthy, then you don't feel confident. And when you don't feel confident, then you act in ways that aren't in your best good. And when you don't act in ways that are in your best good or that are for you, then your results are shabby. And when you get shabby ass results, what happens? The cycle begins all over again. And you find yourself sick, tired, upset, frustrated, broke, and mean. And you think it's the world. But beautiful, the work starts in here. The work of feeling worthy starts right with you. Let there be peace on earth. You know what that song really means? We all sing it on, Amnesty Day, or it's a patriotic song. But that peace that writer is conveying is the peace that you have within yourself, the relationship you have with yourself. And we're going to talk later when we begin to really delve into manifesting the money. We're going to talk about this relationship you have with yourself, because it's the only one that counts. When the relationship with yourself is top notch, the money begins to flow in. Let that peace, the peace that's within you, that's free of torment and turmoil. That peace, let it reign within you. Let it begin with you. And that way, beautiful, you can begin to have peace with others. Having peace with yourself is the cornerstone of this thing we call self-esteem. Everybody's always talking about self-esteem. Self-esteem is conditional. Self-esteem is, I love myself because XYZ, or I love myself because I can do this, or I love myself because this person loves me or thinks I'm hot shit. Right? I love myself because I'm smart. I love myself because I'm attractive. I love myself because I'm a caring person. I want everybody to get along. I just love to encourage and motivate people. So that's why I love myself. But all those damn becauses are conditional. Because the first time you say something to your child that pisses the child off, you begin to feel guilty. And you say, so we can't stock our love for ourselves in this conditional self-esteem status. That makes love conditional. And then guess what happens? Then we begin to give conditional love to everybody else around us. I'll love you if you're not pissing me off. I'll love you as long as you're doing what I want you to do. I love you as long as you agree with me. Can't you see how these feelings can corrupt the constant flow, the channel of good energy that needs to be present in your life for money to flow to you, for good things to flow to you? Self-esteem is something you have to earn, but beautiful, you're a daughter of the Most High. You don't have to earn it. You know, I remember my coach bringing this to light, and it just made sense to me. It clicked for me. When we were infants, swaddling babies, guess what? We didn't think we deserved, or we didn't give any thought to having to earn love. It was a given. We got the attention, the love, the feedings, the changings, the entertainment, all without feeling we had to earn it. We didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to do anything to be loved and to be fed. But somewhere between 0 and 45, when life started happening to us, we began to erode that belief. Now I've got to earn it. I went from not feeling that I needed to earn it because I just got it, it came to me, to I got to earn this shit, and I got to earn it real hard. We talked about that yesterday, right? I got to work really hard for it. But self-love is an unconditional experience of love for yourself, no matter what's going on, no matter that if you have money in the bank account or not, whether your credit cards are run up to max, whether you have student loans or not, whether you got a man or not, whether you have children or not, whether you got a great business or not. When you love yourself no matter what. You don't assess a value to yourself, right? I'm holding these things up. You don't assess a value to yourself because of something external. That's why we tend to be so hard on ourselves, because when we see other people prospering and doing well, they appear to be happy. It's like, how the fuck she get like that? How did she get to be so confident? Because she doesn't give a fuck. No matter what's going on in her world, she doesn't say that the reason, or this is going on in my world, that means I'm not shit. Well, I'm in debt, so that means I must be stupid. I don't have a customer or a client, or I don't know what step to make next, so I must not be smart. It doesn't depend on you being smart or pretty or talented or even a loving person. Hello, does anybody hear that? Some of us, the reason we're doormats, some of us, the reason we cannot stand up for ourselves, the reason we don't use our voice and put all of ourselves out in the world, because we accommodate others, because we're people pleasers, is because we think for whatever freaking reason that if we don't act in a certain way, if people don't like us, then I'm doing something wrong. You cannot be a loving person, y'all, and still be worthy. Hello. Now, I just blew somebody's mind right there. Have you ever wondered why people who appear to just be the most mean people don't have a damn nice thing to say, always starting shit? They seem to be doing okay in their life. They're prospering, going on. Now, I don't care if he's your favorite person or not. I don't care how you vote. This example is not about that. But our president, Donald Trump, bless his soul. The good book says you're supposed to pray for the leaders, but that's another lie. People cannot understand how this man continues to go with his life, whether you agree with him or not. You know why? It's because he has a impenetrable, is that the word? Impenetrable. You can't penetrate. He's bulletproof. He's confident. Went bankrupt 3 times. Got it all back. Still one of the wealthiest people in the country. Prior to becoming, he probably makes what he earns for president in his sleep in a month. Y'all, and he's if you watch him, And I have since I was 8th grade, a student of the universal law, the law of attraction. It does not matter to him who likes it, who agrees with him. He's going to say what the fuck he says, and he's still going to get, y'all, he's still going to get it because the universe doesn't care. The universe doesn't do a good or bad, right or wrong. Have you noticed that? I just want you to sit and think. For every time you've ridiculed someone or the government or a group of people for not doing the right thing, the universe doesn't play favorites, baby. The universe plays the game of worthiness. Whoever believes they're worthy wins. That is it. And that might be hard to take. That's a jagged pill to swallow. But if you've been going through life hoping that if I just be nice, my life will be great. It's great to be kind. It's wonderful. But do you believe you're worthy of having an extraordinary life? That's what the universe responds to. So when you get that in your grit, when you believe that you love yourself unconditionally, nothing else matters, beautiful. Self-esteem is great, but it is unconditional self-love for yourself. That's what you need in order to manifest the things that you desire in this life. To have a better relationship with your husband, to have a fulfilling relationship with your parents and your children, to make what you used to earn a year in a week. That's what we need. And when you don't have it, you're just blocking. Ding, ding. That's all you're doing. When you don't have it for yourself, you are blocking. Think about it like this. God created you. You came from the universe. That's why I love that song, Fame. Just go back and listen to it. Look at the words, the theme song that they think at the end, right? I toast to my own reunion. Y'all, I'm about to get teary-eyed. It doesn't matter who you are. Fuck your past. We all got one. And there are some people with some horrible pasts. So that's, in that regard, life is an equalizer. Beautiful. In that regard, nobody, I don't care what you see in a person today, nobody escapes this human condition of suffering and having a tough past and tough times. All of us are wounded, Mike Murdoch says, in some place. All of us has a hurt in some area in our life, in some way or another. More than likely, it happened when we were children. Some of us may have been abused physically, sexually, mentally, verbally, emotionally. Maybe you were neglected. Maybe your parents inadvertently and unknowingly hurt you by minimizing your sadness, by making light, dismissing your fears when you tried to express them. Something has happened to all of us, beautiful. In fact, multiple things have happened to all of us. Would you agree with that? And at that time, when whatever that thing happened, we created a false belief about ourselves and our worthiness. When those incidents happened, we interpreted, right, them through the mind of a child. And in reality, what may have happened is when we interpreted those events, we said to ourselves, these things got to be true then. If this happened to me, it must be true that I'm XYZ. I'm alone. I'm bad. I'm not enough. I'm too much. Come on, we can go to that end of the spectrum too. I'm not wanted. I'm not safe. We all have our personal stories in that regard. And, you know, I shared with the group each year, each time we do this round about the time that my mom and my dad sent me to Xavier University for a summer program. My mom gave me $50. I think the first weekend that we had a little outing, I went shopping and I bought a pair of Liz Claiborne jeans, denim jean shorts. Called my mom and said, hey, mom, I need some more money. My mom went ballistic. And I did not know what to say or how to respond to her. And so that call did not go well, as you would suspect. They sent me more money. But you know what that signaled to me in that moment? I'm not responsible. I'm not good with money. And guess what happened after that? Even as a woman making six figures, y'all, I was often paying last month's bills with this month's check, having more month than money. As soon as I would get money, the money would leave my hand. It was like, just like, you know how that mercury we used to play with just went through our fingers like water. Because I accepted that to be the truth. That was my belief system. That's how I developed, or one way that I developed a false core belief about myself. And it's shown up so many ways in my life and in my relationships. All right. So it just doesn't impact money. It impacts your relationships with other people, the relationship with yourself, it impacts. And it impacts your work. And that's why we're here, to begin to chisel away, to chisel away by replacing those beliefs with an unconditional love for ourselves, replacing those beliefs with truths, right? You know, that, I mean, after that, I felt I had to prove myself. And that's what you do when you don't feel like you're worthy. You feel like you're always having to prove yourself, or you'll compare yourself to everyone. But when I became aware of that pattern, y'all, that's when the healing started for me. And it starts for you too. It can start right here. You can stop retelling that tired ass story you've been telling. Because every time you retell it, let me give you a tip. Every time you retell the story, your mind doesn't know that it just didn't happen like 30 minutes ago. Especially if you hadn't healed from it. If it's still bringing you grief, you hadn't healed from it. That means that your body is just reliving it over and over again, because your mind doesn't know. It doesn't know between fact and fiction. That's why visioneering and visualization is so powerful. So do yourself a favor. Love yourself enough that you stop telling the tired ass story. Stop telling it. I love this example when Abraham Hicks talks about the GPS. The GPS, when you get in the car, does not ask you, okay, give me the address, but tell me where you been so I can take you there. Doesn't do that. It starts right here. And that's what our good Father or good Goddess does every morning, every second of the day. A reset and reboot. And we kick that shit to the curb by retelling the old story. We get a new lease on life every second. Every morning, new mercies I see. But we cut it up. We discount it by rehashing. That's probably one of the most devastating, detrimental things we can do to ourselves. But guess what? If you want to, it can change right now. You can put yourself out there to be the shit, to be a new person, to help, to make yourself feel wanted. Want yourself. You want to feel wanted by somebody? Want yourself for who you are, and most importantly, whose you are. You want you. And you don't have to prove that to anybody anymore. So This is what I want you to do. This is the assignment for today. And I'll put it in the group. As you continue to declutter, I want you to do this very powerful technique when you're feeling that way, because we all feel that way from time to time. That lack of self-love, that feeling of unworthiness, undeservedness, any kind of emotional pain. One, allow yourself to just scan your body. I'm sure you've done this before if you've done meditations or guided meditations. But just lay in the bed. Just allow your attention to scan your entire body and locate where you're feeling a sensation that needs your attention, right? For me, when I first did this, it was my lower back. For those of you who have lower back pain, financial pain. Okay? That's financial pain. Emotional discomfort of any kind. Y'all, when you really learn and study this stuff, after a while, you will be like, oh my gosh. I encourage you to look it up. Look up things, research, learn yourself. Self-education is the best education. All right? Any discomfort that you have, any emotional discomfort that you have, regardless of its source, is experienced somewhere in your body. Once you've located that spot, whether it's tightness in your back, tightness in your throat, pressure in your chest, a contraction in your gut, that part of your body is holding some kind of emotion. All right? And I want you to, number 2, place your hand there on that part of your body, whatever it is, whatever that feeling or that sensation is, locate it and take a few deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Do that several times. And tell that place that's holding that emotional discomfort, thank you. I love you. For those of you who've read Ho'oponopono by Joe Vitale, excellent. I have the audiobook. Read it. Same concept. Put your hand on it. Thank you. I love you. Love yourself. Love that place. And after some time, y'all test it. Test it. If you don't believe me, test it and come back and tell me it didn't work. But after a while, you're going to notice a release, a relief, an unwinding. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to locate that place in your body, take a few deep breaths, say, thank you, I love you. Love that part of that body. And as you continue to do that, you'll notice that there's going to be a sensation of decrease. Please test it. Come back to me when you've tried it. And in some cases, it might I just want somebody to come back and tell me. And then the other thing you can do, I'm sure you've heard a lot of people try this, take a goddess bath. When's the last time you just bathed yourself? All right? Get some good smelling stuff. And whatever the direction of that sensation takes, it has a message for you. Even a sensation that you might label as pain is really a portal to healing and wisdom, right? And so ask what that message is. Say, Lord, what is this emotional discomfort? What is this pain, this sensation trying to tell me? Sometimes it's very clear. Other times it's a reminder that we need to give in to the power that we do have the power to heal ourselves. That it's time for us to dissolve old wounds. It's time for us to let some shit go, to love ourselves into a full state of wellness. Y'all, you have the power to heal yourself. That's a whole different program. You have the power to restore yourself to wholeness, right? And sometimes it's a signal to us that we need to give more attention to ourselves, treat ourselves kinder, pamper ourselves. And in doing this, you'll find yourself becoming more and more and more aware of your worthiness, your deservedness of manifestations and miracles, because you are beautiful. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have some questions, please, by any means, don't hesitate to drop it in your portal. Let me know. If you have already started today, I want to see pictures of what you decluttered. And ladies, with that, I'm going to stop the recording. And you know, I love you to life.